Yaakov asks of his son Yosef to bury him in Canaan in the Mars Machpelah, because he's the only one who has that ability, being the viceroy of Egypt. But simultaneously he tells him, although your mother, I did not bring her into Canaan and bury her in the Mars Machpelah, but rather I buried her on the way, B'derech Ephros, Hibeis Lochem. So Rashi cites the Chazal. Why is he mentioning this to her? I didn't even bring her remains to Beis Lechem, to bring her fully into the land. And I know that you have a gripe against me in your heart. But you should know that it was through divine dictate she was buried there. He should be of an assistance to her children when the Jews are going to be exiled. They're going to pass by her grave. She will come out of her grave and she will cry and she will supplicate Hashem for rachmin, for mercy. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu responds to her supplication. Your children will come back to their borders. So the obvious question is, Rachel Imenu, when she passed away, Yosef was a little boy. He was the roid son. He already was an adult when he was sold to slavery. Yaakov comes to Egypt. He spent 17 years before this moment. And he says, I know since your mother was buried, since then, you have a gripe, you have a complaint in your heart against me. You have something negative for me. I will explain it to you now. If he knows Yosef has this in his heart bothering him all these years, why do you wait for this moment? He could have told him this years earlier and relieved this issue. And Yosef should know why exactly he buried her there and he couldn't take her to Mars Machpelah. Why did he wait all these years? It's an obvious question. Yosef now is about to assume the mantle of succession. Yaakov is passing away, as we see. Yosef's children, although they were grandchildren of Yaakov, Ephraim, Manasseh, Reuven, Shimon, Yuli. Yosef was the equivalent of his father in many ways, even that his children should be valued as Shiftei Kor, although they were grandchildren. Yosef is about now to assume the level of leadership to be the equivalent of his father until that generation passes away. To set forth the Golus that after 210 years we should leave, to ascend to Sinai, to receive the Torah. A person who's a manik, a person who's chosen, especially of Yosef's dimension, to assume the mantle of leadership of his father, he merits a special siyata d'shmaya, a special divine assistance, a capacity to fully appreciate to what degree one has to be dedicated to the perpetuation of Klal Yisrael in every aspect of its meaning, its physical, its spiritual, at every level. As a son seeing a mother not being treated properly, even if you hear it was a piyat dibur, it was divine dictate, whatever it may be, but until you assume the understanding of that you're responsible for Klal Yisrael, what its value, one cannot fully internalize the depth of what that means and how important that is. Although intellectually we understand many things, but to be able to integrate it fully into one's heart, to one's emotion, one's neshama, there's something which it will fall short of what has to be. Now that Yosef is about to assume that level of leadership, of succession, that he will be in the place of Yaakov, now he will merit that siyata d'shmaya and assume that level of responsibility, and he understands what it means. Rachel yotze mikivra, she leaves her grave ubocha, and she supplicates Hashem, kol baram and nishma, and the shabib v'shavu bonim l'gvuleo.